Welcome to the Bet Big, Talk Loud podcast day after Christmas. We only have 2 more of these podcasts to go in 2025 before 2026 is here. I am Chris Hodge. My pleasure to always be joined by JR. We have so much to talk about. But before now, look, Bet Big, Talk Loud. This is a sports podcast. We talk a lot about gambling. We give out free picks, and the free picks have been very good. But I have to say this. Watching what went on in my house, and I know you have the same thing, the last 2 days, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Now, I'm going to say this, and I have no problem saying this, right? I'm a man's man, right? I know my wife needs me to do certain things,
Sure.
right? And I fund these holidays, as you do as well. But
they don't look at it that way, by the way.
I know our wives do. My wife knows, right? But let me tell you something right now. These holidays do not exist without women.
No, God.
They do a great job.
You know, I learned years ago, just keep giving them the MVP trophy. I mean, seriously, just let them know what a great job they're doing. Keep letting them, you got to give gratitude to them and tell them, you know, like I did. This is the first time we actually went out for Christmas Eve. I told my wife, I'm like, you do way too much. I'm like, seriously, you do such a good job on Christmas Day that for you to have to do Christmas Eve is just crazy. And I have older kids. You would think one of them would host it. No, they're not hosting either one. They all come to our house for both. So I said, let's do it. And what an impossibility to find a reservation on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And I did it the day before. Had to call 4 restaurants before I actually found one.
All I know is this. If it's not for my wife, and I'm sure many of you out there feel the same way, no one eats on Christmas Eve.
Doesn't happen.
There are no presents on Christmas Day. I came down to my house yesterday. I'm like, what on earth is going on?
And she's panicking. She's like, I got to get the potatoes. I literally actually jumped in, started peeling potatoes.
You're a better man than me.
Listen, if I don't do it, then I was sitting outside enjoying myself, probably a little too much. She opened up the garage door, looked at me, goes, comfortable?
See, my wife, she knows.
And I was like, I am comfortable.
My wife knows I'm
for
useless around the house. You know, I don't want to plagiarize anyone. There is a comedian, his name escapes me right now, but I know the skit. And he said, you know, being a man is like being a backup quarterback in the NFL. You're on the team. You're not the star, right? And in the rare occasion you get in the game, people are nervous. And if I get in the game at my house,
what's going on?
People are nervous, man. There's no food there. There's nothing. So to all the women out there, man, you make these holidays so special for all of us. We are complete idiots in this regard. We do a good job making money to pay for it, and that's where it stops.
If your wife was not with you, tell me it would not be a catered Christmas.
It wouldn't be catered because I'd be dead 3 times already. Dead 3 times. Gone. No shot. Listen, I'm not even going to get into it. I'd be gone. There's no way I'd see 46 years old without my wife.
Wife's like, you would just hire someone to do everything I do.
Yeah, you have to be alive to do that. I'd already be in the ground. So to all the women out there who make the holiday so special, thank you very much. I know you feel the same way. Let's go to what happened yesterday. So, you know, in the movie Concussion, right, with Will Smith.
Yep.
There's a great saying in that movie, and he says, God. Well, it wasn't Will Smith who said it. I think it was the doctor who said it. He said, God used to own Sundays. The NFL took it over. The NBA used to own Christmas.
They did.
As did Jesus. And the NFL just took it over.
Even with the shittiest product imaginable.
So happy you said that.
Because and we did not talk about this coming into
No,
it.
we did not.
And I know you're going to talk about the games. I will admit, I'm going to look at the camera. I turned them off. They were that bad. Halfway through the first game, Detroit, Minnesota, that was it. Washed my hands. Said, you know what? I think we need to watch Elf again. That's what I did.
For like the 19th time this season. The NBA had some pretty good games yesterday.
They did.
The Cleveland Knicks game.
I did watch the highlights.
Cleveland Knicks game was insane. San Antonio and OKC are developing a great rivalry.
They are.
And, you know, OKC's been the best team in the league this year, but San Antonio has beaten them 3 times recently.
It's unreal.
Okay. They had some great games. They had Minnesota, Denver, Anthony Edwards sends that game to overtime. The NBA had some great games. The NFL had shit games. Garbage.
I mean garbage.
And when the ratings come in, they've already started to. It's going to be about 5 million average viewers for the NBA and about 35 average for the NFL.
To 35 million people watch that atrociousness.
Yeah.
And here's, you know what? Netflix did not blip on me. Was able to watch the game, no loading, none of that went on. Remember,
last year was
a couple
a
of years
disaster.
ago with the Tyson fight.
Yeah, that and
was it the Tyson Logan Paul thing where it was constantly blipping?
Well,
on
last year Netflix on Christmas Day was terrible.
It was terrible.
It was terrible, but they fixed it.
Yeah, worked great, whatever they did. But man, they need a better product. Even my brother's like, can't they flex? I'm like, you can't flex Christmas Day, man.
So let me ask you a question, because I'm more of the college guy, you're more of the NFL guy, right? And you love the league.
I do.
You always have. Do you feel, and listeners out there, I want you guys can chime in the comments. Do you feel that the NFL product is at an all-time low?
All-time low. Not only, listen, the officiating we've talked about week after week.
Okay.
Absolutely disturbing is the word I'll use on the officiating, right? But the play, and especially the quarterback play, has been, it's not just down, it is in the fucking gutter. It is that bad. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at the draft and I'm like, it's only getting worse. I don't see anyone coming up that I'm like, wow. You know, like we thought maybe Manning would be he's nothing special. I don't see.
He's not even coming out.
Right. And I don't see the product up and coming. It's getting worse and worse. It's getting more and more pussified. I mean, we've got helmets the size of alien heads now. I don't see it getting, look, my brother's always telling me, I'm done. They're ruining the game. And I've always defended the game. Like, it's football. I'm going to watch it. I ain't watching some of this. It is awful. I mean, when I look at the schedule and see every game this week is a road favorite, just about, there's more road favorites than there are home favorites.
Yeah. I mean, the season coming down to an end.
Still, that doesn't happen.
Well, all you need to know about that is the Giants are a road favorite this week. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Is that just going to be who can fumble the ball more?
Right, who wants to lose most?
Seriously, so, I think Vegas has to try to win.
Here's my problem. You know, I didn't think the Dallas-Washington game was a terribly played football game for both teams being out of it. And you had a third-string quarterback in for Washington. I got to watch
Dallas on Thanksgiving. I got to watch them on Christmas, too.
America's team, man.
Yeah, American team. All right, bullshit.
The Minnesota-Detroit game was so poor. First of all, I don't know what Dan Campbell's doing. Lions turned the ball over 6 times in that game, 2 times on snaps. Goff is throwing the ball all over the place.
The first drive of the game had to be, a 7-minute drive, go all the way down, 4th and 1 again. This idiot he doesn't know how to take points.
He doesn't. And a couple years ago, he cost them a Super Bowl berth.
He did.
When he was doing all that nonsense against San Francisco.
I mean, it's so bad they gave him a Dos Equis commercial. It really, it's stupid.
Here's my issue. Minnesota won a football game yesterday with under 10 net passing yards. Meaning if you take the sacks out for what, they won a football game with under 10 net passing yards. Not only did they win the football game, they won it by 13.
Yeah.
Okay? And that is only the 3rd time in history that's happened.
I didn't know that it was that little passing yards.
I'll tell you, I was speaking to my wife about that whole scenario this morning, and I said, I can't believe it happened twice. Like, this is the 3rd time a net 10 under won a football game. How the hell do you win a football game? Like Army and Navy, maybe.
Right. I mean, if you're running triple option or Wildcat.
How the hell do you win a football game in the NFL when you didn't throw for more than 10 yards net?
I guess when Max Brosner's your quarterback.
I mean, again, we're taking, you'll be out there, he threw for 55. No, we didn't. With the sacks and everything, it's minus under 10 yards passing net.
Yeah.
They won a football game. How bad is Detroit?
How good is their defense?
All right, so here's another thing that drove me crazy yesterday. And mind you, we didn't use the game either which way. So we're not on the game at all. No. Okay, we're just watching a football game. Okay. They have 8 men at the line of scrimmage.
The entirety of it.
Constantly. He ran the ball at it. For what reason, I don't know. They ran the ball 30 times in that game.
Or throwing it 2 yards off the line of scrimmage. What are you doing?
Dropping back and just throwing and getting the ball deflected.
All you got to do is a 3-step drop, put it over the middle, and you're going to have
it
wide open just about every time.
So, or
I watch some of these quarterbacks read what's going on. And I mean, even Phillip Rivers, who hasn't played in 5 years, is getting to the line of scrimmage.
Calling out plays.
And seeing, right, he's got a play, he's coming in, and then he literally looks at the defense, says, X, 1, 2, 4, whatever the fuck he says, and gets him right to the spot where he knows it's going to be wide open. He doesn't even have to look at the receiver. He just puts the ball where it's supposed to be.
So
how is Jared Goff not doing the same thing?
He's not as good. And that's why Phillip Rivers is going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Shows you how great Ben Johnson was on that offense.
Agreed. Also, Tom Brady said this because Tom Brady was not the most athletically gifted guy in terms of running and jumping and all that crazy stuff. But he said, my superpower was I can get up to the line of scrimmage. I know what they're doing, and I'm just going to go the opposite way.
That's it.
So you had Minnesota yesterday. This was hilarious because they just put 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, almost like, hey, when are you guys going to do something different to try to combat this?
There's going to be one-on-one, period. Isn't that like a hard-on for the quarterback and the wide receiver?
So this is a hard thing to say because the Lions, they actually have a worse history than the Jets, which is almost impossible. Okay? There you go. I made you snort again. There you go.
Because it's the truth. Right. How many times last year did I have to tell all the Lion fans, stop, please?
All right, so now
you're climbing a tree you're going to fall out of.
Is Dan Campbell an overrated coach? Was it the coordinators? Now, I know Aaron Glenn's struggling with the Jets. He was a good defensive coordinator for them last year.
He still is. I believe that if you put the right team around Aaron Glenn, he's going to actually be
a good head should coach. Dan Campbell be on the hot seat?
No, he's definitely not going to be in a hot seat.
Okay.
All right, he's not. I do think that somebody from up top, maybe ownership, needs to come out and just crack him once and say, listen, I understand this, the aggressiveness that you're known for. I don't give a shit what you're known for. We need to win football games. Because I really think it gets in his head where it's 4th and inches and they need the points, and in his own alter ego takes over. No, we just got to go for it because that's who I am. That's who Dan Campbell is. No, we need to win football games.
They would have beat San Francisco a couple years ago had he kicked field goals.
Correct.
They would have beat them.
How many games that they would have won that are the difference of 2, 3, up to 5 points where he's had opportunities and missed fourth downs inside the 30?
So here's what's going on with that. I firmly believe this, and I believe there's mathematics behind this, right? I hate the analytics as much as you do, but when you're taking a field goal, right? And these kickers are now making 55-yard field goals like you make a layup in basketball, right? It's like nothing.
They're going to have to change those balls.
Well, those K balls are different, but I don't know if they're going to do that. But let's just go off what is normal, what we know of the NFL now, right? If you take 3 points, maybe in a situation where you're supposed to, okay, great. But if you kick that ball into the end zone, offense gets the ball at the 35-yard line. They got to go like 25 yards, right? And they're in field goal range.
That's it.
So if I'm thinking about that, like, okay, I'm going to kick a 28-yard field goal here, right, which puts me at the 11-yard line. I have 4th and 3. I might as well go for it because I'm going to convert that field goal 9 times out of 10, maybe more, okay, maybe 99 times out of 100. But I'm probably just going to give those 3 points back if I give up 2 first downs. I guess
the kickoff has changed things a bit.
I think that's where it's changed.
But I still think points in football are so scarce.
I don't disagree with you.
Every opportunity that you get. I feel like the coaches that, not the old school type of football, which was way too conservative, not Marty Schottenheimer football, okay? I'm talking about semi-aggressive when it's needed, like Mike Tomlin, right? He does when it's needed, when it's called for, go for the 2 points, go for the... I don't like it on every play. I don't like the guy that is going to do it. Like I said, like this, Dan Campbell's out of control. It's just my opinion. I think that he's allowed it to work itself into his culture. And that's not a culture in football. Football's about winning. It's about adapting to the team that you're playing against. It's about, changing strategy. Just like, listen, I change strategy constantly.
Sure.
You can't be the same thing every single play.
You have to adapt.
You have to. You got to be a chameleon in this league. Yeah. Which is why I also think that a guy like Mike Vrabel was able to walk into New England and change the culture immediately and turn that team around. And do I think that they're going to the Super Bowl? No. Do I think they're going to be a team to be reckoned with in the AFC for the next 10, 15 years? I do.
I'm either being stubborn, because I've said this multiple times, and I have to stay with it because we don't change what we do in terms of our picks, right? I picked Buffalo to win the Super Bowl before the season began on Sports Investors Daily, which is the radio show we do every Saturday and Sunday morning. I'm staying with them. I'm not sold on Denver. Denver has struggled with some bad teams. They've won the games, credit to them. Peyton, great job. They were in salary cap hell. They were in dead money hell. He came in, and look what he's done. Tremendous job by Sean Payton. Okay.
I agree.
Tremendous job by Mike Vrabel.
I agree.
I still think, call me crazy, and
It's not enough yet.
I still think it's Buffalo. I think it's going to come down to Buffalo or Pittsburgh. Now, those two teams might play each other early in the playoffs.
Well, I'm a Steelers fan,
seeding.
so I'm hoping we don't see Buffalo in the playoffs, but that's not a clear path right now.
So if Pittsburgh gets in, they're going to be the 4 seed. They can't be any higher than the 4 seed.
It feels like that season when they got in and they were one of the first teams to win on a wild card.
When they were the 6 seed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the year they went to Detroit, and Bettis got his first Super Bowl.
They just got hot.
And that was what, Roethlisberger's second year?
It almost has that feeling right now that they're getting better.
They're getting hot.
Now, we
didn't talk about that offensive line right now. Over the last 5 games, I was looking at some stuff. The best offensive line in the NFL over the last 5 games.
They're playing well.
I mean, they are playing and it's backups. The backups came in for the starters and are better than the starters. That's going to be a conversation.
He is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Sometimes a little biased, but he's actually you're not as bad as your brother.
No.
Your brother.
I know when to go against them.
Yeah,
I know when they're not going to win.
I am a fan of no one. I do not have a team that I root for. If I chose to see a team win, it would be the Yankees, right? But I don't really root. I don't care either which way. I think I'm going to be in a minority with this one, and a bad minority, by the way. I think I'm going to be really far down. Okay, this might sound crazy. I do not believe that DK Metcalf should have been suspended. Yeah, I don't believe it. So go ahead. You're a Steelers fan. Where are you on that?
Come on, man.
I don't.
You can't put your hands on a fan.
No,
Period.
You can't.
End of discussion. He should have been actually arrested for what he did.
No, he should not have been.
It was a
He
violent
didn't pull the guy
act.
up and beat him up.
He punched him. He literally went and punched him, okay? And whether he made contact or not, he sure as shit tried, okay? I don't know what was said. I saw the film from another perspective where somebody literally was like a couple of seats away from the guy that did it. Didn't hear the words. Wasn't a lot said. But DK just came up and popped him, man.
So
you
supposedly
can't do that.
There's been some history with that fan, right?
Don't
DK
care.
said, okay. Here is my issue with that. What are the 2 security guards doing? Right? They watched DK walk up to a fan. Now, if you're a security guard, a real security guard, and especially if you're team personnel, which I don't know if those guys were, but if they were, I'm very disappointed. If you see him start to go, you have to go get him.
You have to.
You have to go get him.
You stop him. You don't even let him get near the fan.
Here is my issue with this. I don't believe DK has ever had a problem with fans like that before. I don't believe it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't believe he has. Something was said to that man to make him walk up to that fan and do that.
One of the guys the filming that I was watching of the guy that was literally just a couple of shots away just kept saying, I guess he doesn't like his real name. I guess he doesn't like his real name. Like the guy called him Declan, which is, I believe, DK's first name.
Mm-hmm.
When are you not allowed to say a guy's name?
Okay, and I've been with this. I did a quick snip the other day. We're saying the NBA had a bunch of babies when they're getting offended by fans saying, hey, I need to hit a parlay, score some points, right?
Sure.
And the NBA they're trying to take some measures to stop fans from doing that. Why? Agreed. I think they should have gave DK a warning. You do it again, you got some problems. Okay?
Listen, if he would have just went like this and said something, or if he would have thrown a drink maybe, made contact.
So I'm saying
his fist went and touched that fan. Bro,
I'm saying I'm in the minority. I said that I'm in the minority with this.
There's really not a defense on that. I mean, you can't. Then, all right, hey, you ever see some of the hockey fights where they go into the stands?
Some of the greatest fights
this
ever.
is some of the greatest stuff. But even back in the 70s, they were getting
you know what happened?
Remember the Boston when Boston?
I got one better. I got one better for you. Again, we don't script this shit, so the malice at the palace was ended this. This ended all of this shit when they went in and throw haymakers at the fans, and it's one of the greatest sports fights of all time.
Oh, it was great.
When
I was
Ron
watching
Artest,
that game when it happened.
Meta World Peace, whatever. When he had the water poured on.
Don't ever use that name again. That's Ron Artest.
Ron, and it was. I know Ron. I knew him very well at one point in my life. Ron was a very nice human being.
He was.
I knew him well in college.
Was a great guy. Little.
Nah, he was a very nice guy. I think the NBA kind of got to him, but a little off topic there. But that's what started that. The malice at the palace had everyone concerned that if these athletes go into the stands, that's the end of life.
It really.
But I would have said to DK, I would have said to DK, hey, you're off with a warning. Don't ever let that happen again.
He came out in the second half and was allowed to play. I was really surprised that the NFL didn't contact officiating and say, hey, hold him
He's gotta
over for
go?
the half. Yeah, and then maybe you give him a 1-game suspension since he already served a half a game suspension, and we can wipe our hands
Call it
of
a day.
Right.
And you don't know. I'm not privy to the conversations. Maybe they had a conversation with the fan. Was like, if you don't get suspended, I'm suing. I don't know. I don't know if that happened.
He's probably suing anyway. I mean, he got a chance to sue the NFL.
That little pussy fuck probably will sue.
Probably
Look at him.
will.
First of all, he went to the game wearing
hair.
a. Well, are you out of your fucking mind? Like, I wish they would have dragged him off and beat the shit out of him. That's the way I feel anyway. But I'm.
Listen, I feel the same way, but I'm being realistic. You cannot go up and punch fans. That's it. Period.
Why not?
End of discussion.
Why not?
Listen, if we want to make it that way, then let's do it. But no, you can't. punch a
Imagine,
fan.
like I say, everyone fend for themselves.
make a new league, XFL, where the players come to you.
Yeah, the players can come beat you up. I'll tell you what, though, if that ever came to be where the players were allowed to beat these fans up, you'll see a lot of these fans. First of all, people are a bunch of pussies,
People
really.
they'll be in there lifting weights in the stands.
Even the messages I get, God forbid I lose a game. I know you get them too. God forbid
please.
you. They would never say this shit to us standing next to us. I know it. You guys know it. I just laugh this shit off. Everyone's brave behind the screen. Everyone's brave when they got a big thing in front of them and the player can't jump up and kick the shit out of them. Everyone is brave.
Would you have said that to Mean Joe Green?
No.
Guy was mean. I watched. Now, I didn't get to watch him play. He's a little before my time. I mean, a little bit, obviously, when I was young. But I watched a play where this guy punched 2 plays in a row. Punched the opposing team. Just bang. And it came back and bang, did it again.
Yeah.
On the next following play, fumble right into his hands.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I believe it was against the Broncos, too.
Something we started a couple weeks ago was a fishy line segment, odds line segment with the NFL. And it's gotten some traction with people actually like hearing what we have to say on that. There's a couple of them. Where are you with Cincinnati and Arizona? I know Cincinnati's 5-10, Arizona's 3-12. Cincinnati's a big favorite in that game.
They should. That one I don't find fishy.
Really?
I think they should be. Joe Burrow's playing. T. Higgins is playing. Jamar Chase is playing. Their defense will be sitting on the bench like they always do. But it's Arizona. Arizona has been absolutely stagnant. I mean, they are the 3 games that they've won this year, I believe, were all in the first 6 weeks of the season.
So Arizona fucked me brutally in a knockout pool when they played Tennessee. Yeah, that was when the TV got broke.
That was the TV.
Yeah, that was the TV. That was TV gate. So that one.
I didn't know you had that in a pool.
I did. And you know what, man, it's just the way the gods work. They mock you at every turn. I'd still be alive in that pool had not for that game. And that was a big one. By the way, so I always say don't let emotions get to it, and you don't want to certainly hurt any human beings, right? But some TVs in my life have gotten it. I'm not going to, lie. My wife for Christmas bought me a punching bag to put on my desk.
I saw that. You texted it. That is awesome. She doesn't realize, though, you're not going to hit the bag still.
Well,
you may play with it but when something bad happens, look out. So I'm glad I'm as far away from you as possible.
So the funny thing, office is a huge office, and you hear people talking about, oh, we were going to buy the boss for TV, and then all of a sudden you hear people like, well, we can't get him a TV. It's a waste.
I'm the one who said, let's get him a really expensive one, so at least it really hurts him.
And then someone said, are you fucking crazy? It's a waste of money. This asshole going to break it.
You wouldn't break it. Or I said, let's get one of those outdoor ones that are super heavy, so when he goes to grab it off the wall, it'll actually fall on him.
No, man. No, it's bad news. Bad news. Another one I feel is really odd. I think it should be more, but I understand why it's not, I guess. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, that's odd.
-3.
That line at minimum. If you said, JR, make a line, Pittsburgh at Cleveland, which we know they don't play well at Cleveland ever, but this is one of the worst Cleveland teams that we've seen, obviously, years. And you can't go based on past history of the two teams. It has to be the situation that it is right now. That line's off.
So
that line's off.
The road team has won.
At least 6.
Excuse me. The road team has lost 8 straight in that series.
Correct.
The last
but I don't care. That's not what line makers look at.
Agreed. But how we talk about things. Pittsburgh is an odd team because Pittsburgh doesn't win road Thursday night games.
No.
They don't lose home Monday night games. Ever.
I think, 21 straight on
they haven't lost since 1991. They haven't lost a Monday night game at home. They tend to not play well in Cleveland, no matter how good they've been.
You pointed out, and you were correct, they're just not good on the shorter weeks. They're really not. So, I mean, they played Sunday night. I'm not going to say that this was a short week, right? I mean, but
it's not a short week. It's a normal week for them.
I'm just saying they're not good. Like you said, Thursday nights, for whatever reason, not enough time
Thursday
to get
night
ready.
on the road.
And off of that Monday loss, they usually are not that great, which they were.
Well, which they were last week against
but
Detroit.
That's because they were against Detroit.
So
Detroit's falling apart. I'm selling that stock, by the way.
You said that. You said that last week.
I said it a few weeks ago.
Last time they beat Cleveland in Cleveland was back in 2021. It was 15-10. But I thought that line should be higher, especially Pittsburgh puts the division away. They don't need to play. So this is a very important game for Pittsburgh.
Win that division no matter what.
Okay, at the time of doing this podcast, right, which is Friday. Okay.
Why do you feel the need to tell me the day?
Because of that gaffe like 8 weeks ago.
Jesus. So anyway, do I ever catch a break?
No.
Right.
Anywho, Baltimore's playing Green Bay. Looks like
TV in here one of the seconds just so he can break it.
Looks like Lamar Jackson will not be playing. But
Lamar might go to the Miami Dolphins. Go ahead.
Oh, forget that.
Did you hear?
You're so off topic with this nonsense, right? So let's stay focused, right? Now, here we go. If Baltimore loses that game, I believe Pittsburgh clinches their division regardless. Doesn't matter.
Correct.
Now, you got to keep this in mind if you want to bet this game, all right? Baltimore wins that game against Green Bay. You know Pittsburgh does not want to have to play that last game and have to beat Baltimore, which they very well might, but you know they don't want to. So the way I would look at betting this Pittsburgh game is if Baltimore wins against Green Bay, I would load up on Pittsburgh.
That line might actually jump.
It might. If Baltimore loses, I would stay away from the game because Pittsburgh can't move up. They can't even get to the 3 seed.
Nope.
Okay? So they're going to have...
They may bench a lot of their better players.
They probably
right?
will start, especially
start
the week against Baltimore. And we saw Baltimore do that last year.
They may want to tell Aaron, hey, you know what? Stay healthy. You're 40-something years old. Sit down. Let's take a look at what Will Howard might be able to do.
Yeah, I mean,
I just snaps.
Yeah, mathematically, I mean, they can't catch Denver. They're not going to be able to catch the New England. No, I don't even think.
By the way,
can't catch New England.
If they get into the playoffs and they make a small run of any kind, does Aaron come back next year?
I don't know. I don't know the man. He looks like he's having fun this year,
doesn't he?
And then now let's get to this one because this is a problem for the NFL. And I spoke about this. I did a quick snip about 2 months ago, maybe not even, where I said, "Here's how you fix the tanking problem in the NFL." The first team to miss out on the playoffs, the first team gets the number 1 draft pick, and you work backwards.
I love it.
Okay. Because now, what do you have? You have a situation this week where people are going to watch the game, hoping their teams lose. You're charging admission to get into this ridiculous, nonsensical game between the Giants and Las Vegas.
3 pennies to get in.
The Giants win this game. The Giant fans are going to be beside themselves.
And the Giants are going to try to win. Because that's what the Giants do. I think Vegas will do what you expect people in Vegas to do, tank.
So the Giants have lost 13 straight road games. But here's the thing about this, right? This is only the 3rd time in the last 5 years, how bad the Giants have been, that they are a road favorite. So not only does that make the Giants terrible, how fucking bad is Las Vegas that they're underdog to the Giants?
And they're coached by Pete Carroll. That's
an all-timer.
I listened to his interviews on, we won't say the network, but on satellite radio. He does quite a few interviews. Man, the guy's so good. Like, I love listening to him. If I was building a team and he was 20 years younger, he's the guy I'd want.
So it's only the 2nd time this year the Giants are favored in the game. The first time they were favored didn't go well.
No.
They were favored against Washington. That was a couple of weeks ago. That was disgusting. They've lost 13 straight road games. In the last 5 years when they've been favored on the road, lost. But look, if you're a Giant fan out there, you just had Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, right? I know for a fact, because this happened in my household when the Giant fans show up, right? The Giant fans know they're going to win this week. They know it.
They know it.
They know it.
They don't want to.
They don't want to win
My
this
best
week.
friend is a big Giants fan. He's like, they're dumb enough to win.
And now if you're the NFL, this is what this creates. Now you have a game that now I would love to see this happen. I would love to see this happen. Let's say the Giants are down 2 with 25 seconds left. And that kicker who just hit the field, hit the turf when he tried to kick a ball in New England, do you put in his ear, yo, push it right? No, everyone, you suck anyway. Everyone will believe you.
I would like to see them just kneel on it.
Oh, if they did that, the NFL's got a scandal.
Oh, but why wouldn't you?
They would actually, I think they would take the draft pick away. I really do.
I don't think they could.
I don't know the rules
you would
on
have
it.
to turn around and say, I did it because I want my team to be better.
I don't disagree. I don't know if you can make it that obvious.
But
do you
what's
whisper
best
in
for your organization?
Do you whisper in the guy's ear who sucks anyway? Like, listen, you missed the field goal. Everyone's just going to think you suck anyway.
Another chip shot, man. He ain't going to have a job next year.
Push this to the right.
What's he going to do at the next interview?
He
told me to push it.
Hey, but young, cool, woo, woo, whatever your name is, whatever your name. Come on over here. Hey, listen. Hey, brother. Hey, push that to the right.
And he's going to say, you guaranteed job next year?
No, that's what gets us thrown off the platform.
I said you guaranteed me a job?
Yeah.
I said it wrong. As I was saying it, I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, man. So, all right, free picks. Let's get to it. You've been lights out. Now, again, I said this 4 weeks ago. He had lost a free pick, and I said, this man does not lose 2 straight free picks. And after he lost that free pick, you went on a 4-game free pick win streak, right? And this is what happens. You guys can believe it or not, roll yards, and I really don't care. I've witnessed this for years upon years upon years, right? This guy loses a free pick. The next time you want to get a game that's big, you bet his game because very rarely do you lose 2 free picks. So you are this year 11-5 with your free picks. You just came off 4 in a row. You lost last week, which is a tough loss, and I don't believe you should have lost on Tampa Bay. There was some odd calls in that game. But you're going against Carolina again this week.
I am. You know what? I called them smoke and mirrors. I used the fugazi word. All right, their defense is not completely fugazi, but I do believe that Bryce Young is going to continue to make mistakes when you're that short and the lines are that high. You're just not seeing things the way everybody else does. The lanes are different. The defense can see things that you don't. I just think he's going to continue to make mistakes. And listen, this Seattle team is very much for real. They proved themselves against L.A. a week ago. They are just playing at a really high level, and no one's giving them any credit.
And it's an important game for Seattle. It is not so much for Carolina.
All I keep hearing is L.A. is the best team in the NFC, best team in
football. Yeah,
it's
been said a lot.
And Seattle just got done not just beating them, but decisively, right?
No, they didn't beat them decisively.
They didn't crush them, but they
came from behind. Right. They got down and then came from behind.
Sam Darnold did what we really didn't expect Sam Darnold to be able to do. Come back and win a game and, something that actually meant something. Look, last year he went into the playoffs and he got his head knocked off, right? I mean, it just wasn't good. He played like shit. I think he's got something to prove right now. Playing with a chip on his shoulder, and no one's giving them any credit. Like I said, they're -7 on the road at Carolina, rightfully so. Public is buying into Carolina. They're buying that stock. I'm shorting the shit out of it. All right? I think that Carolina is going nowhere. Even if they did somehow miraculously get into the playoffs, they're going to get knocked out in the first round.
But they'll play the 5 seed and get destroyed by whoever that is.
Whoever it is.
Would be either San Francisco or the Rams.
I don't think that Seattle's going to just sit down. They need to win this game.
They need to win.
They would like to hold on to the position that they have, and Carolina just not good enough. That defense is legit, but the Seattle offense is better, and I think that they're going to win this game by 17 or more. They may wind up winning this game by 28 to 35 points.
So in terms of playoff implications, you guys out there might not know this, it is not an important game for Carolina. Yes, you want to try to win every game, but if Carolina wins their last week against Tampa Bay, they win the division, regardless of what happens, anything else. They could lose this week. Tampa Bay could beat the Dolphins this week. It doesn't matter. If Carolina beats Tampa Bay in the end of the season, that's it. They win the division. And even if they win this week and Tampa Bay wins this week, they still have to beat Tampa Bay to win the division. So the only way they can clinch this week is if Tampa Bay loses to Miami as a 5.5-point favorite, and then Carolina has to win as a 7-point underdog.
Starts making you scratch your head a little bit. So the NFL scheduled these games obviously purposely to have impact on the last week of
division
the season.
Games, yeah.
And officiating has been disturbing.
We'll stop it right there. My free pick. So I've won 2 in a row. 2 weeks ago, I went with Army, and I've said this numerous times, didn't use it big. Last week, I really liked that play with under Tulane and Ole Miss. Yep. I felt like I broke that game down perfectly. Going to give you another less than popular game here, but I do believe it's a winner. Tomorrow, I don't know if you're familiar with the weather in the Northeast. Supposed to be some bad weather.
It is.
Snow, sleet. You got an option team with Army playing UConn. Now, UConn played Air Force. Similar offense. Army's a little bit better offensively than Air Force. They gave up almost 300 rushing yards in that game. They were able to just run the ball, but they only gave up 16 points. And they scored 26 in that game. All right, now, UConn's head coach, Mora, gone. Their quarterback, gone. And they're playing a team that is going to want to run the ball.
Sure.
The total, before we came on to do this podcast, was 43.5. And I'm telling you, like 2 minutes later, it dropped down to 42. I think it's a low-scoring game. I think UConn is going to struggle to move the ball with a backup quarterback.
Slippery surface, possibly.
Slippery service, which sometimes favors the offense, but I don't believe it's going to in this regard. I think the only way the game gets over is if there's turnovers and teams get the ball starting in good field position. But I think UConn's going to struggle to stop the run, and Army's just going to grind the clock down. And UConn is not going to be able to move the ball with a backup quarterback and missing some players. So right now, at time of doing this podcast, which is about 3 o'clock Eastern time on Friday, total is 42. It might go lower than that, but I'm going to go under 42.
I like that.
UConn, Army being played at Fenway Park.
Like a 16-6 kind of.
Yeah, just an ugly game in the snow,
yeah.
bad weather. So I said last week we were supposed to have a special guest come on this week. She is coming on Tuesday. Okay. Now, our podcast is changing next week. We want to do it. Usually we do the podcast on Fridays. For the last show of the year, we're doing Tuesday for multiple reasons. One, we want to wish everyone a Happy New Year, and we want to break down the CFP games. We're going to do a full CFP breakdown on Tuesday when we do the podcast for the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day games.
Sure.
But we will have a Playboy Playmate sitting in studio.
You get so happy every time.
You know what? She's a nice girl, man. I'm really excited. She's very well versed in sports gambling.
That's what I mean. To me, it's just a great guest.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun to have her on, and she'll be in on Tuesday, so that'll be a great one. I'm very excited for that. But more importantly, more excited than when you got some money. Sports Investors Daily will be on Saturday and Sunday morning this week. Last show of 2025. Then we're on into 2026.
Yep.
This podcast was sponsored by TakingVegas.com and Girls.Gamble.live. Go check out both websites. If you want to get involved with our action for tomorrow, we hit 2 parlays last week on Sports Investors Daily. We hit 2 parlays. We hit the Nevada parlay on Saturday with over JMU and Oregon.
And I love the one that you gave out on Sunday.
Sunday was last Sunday, Atlanta. This is for free, by the way, off the radio show. Atlanta with Kyle Pitts scoring a touchdown.
Same one we had just hit a week ago.
We hit the one on Monday, too.
Yeah.
We had a same game parlay on Monday.
I'm saying we did the Atlanta Pitts the week prior.
No. Chicago
prior?
Swift was the week prior. Chicago Swift.
We also had an Atlanta Pitts in there.
That was That was weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Whatever.
So we have. Hey, listen, we're rolling with the free picks on Sports Investors Daily. Our record here, if you combine it, you're 11-5. I'm 11-7. So that's 22-12.
10 games over 5.
And I gave out 2 underdog winners. One was plus 190. One was plus 140.
Yep.
You gave out an underdog winner when Dallas beat Kansas City on Thanksgiving. So, hey, rolling with the free picks. Want to make sure you guys have a good time. Close this thing out.
Last one of the year, right?
No, Tuesday's the last. God, don't listen, man. I just said this shit. I literally just went over this.
In my head, you said, we're going to wish you a happy New Year.
Yeah, you can't see
I thought it was post-happy New Year.
That was on Tuesday, for crying out. The producer's behind me laughing his ass off right now.
Let's go out there and make some money.
We'll be back on Tuesday. Everyone have a great weekend.